What's good with your YouTube? What's good with you, baby? This your boy Nick Love and the K9 ProSeeds, baby.
The king has returned.
So as you can see what the title say, man, it's pretty much basically, it sums up everything. And I'm trying to find out what y'all know and what you don't know. I'm in certain spaces and whatnot, and I'm able to chop it up with people here and there and there. No, here, far, wide, it don't matter. I'm here to speak with most of them, and I ask them a few questions from time to time, and I be wanting to know, are y'all versed enough in what y'all doing to where you can pretty much purchase a puppy from just a pedigree alone? Let me see something. Hold on. It's good with you, baby. Yeah. I'm trying to know, do you feel comfortable in the dogs that you're actually owning and trying to utilize? Do you feel comfortable enough to buy them sight unseen just off of a pedigree alone? We're going to pretend, what's good with your old Stafford? We're going to pretend that everything is on the up and up. Everything is straight. That the pedigree is correct. The breeder is correct. No, there's no fugazi stuff going on with the pedigrees. What you see is what you're supposed to get, but it's only on paper alone. Now, I do understand that a lot of the dogs of today, not too many breeds have been documented as well as the Pitbull has. Not too many breeds have been documented as much as the Bulldogs have been documented over the time, over time period. So I gather why a lot of them, or a lot of individuals wouldn't want to get a dog sight unseen. I see why you would be like, man, I got to see the mom and the daddy, because y'all don't have a lot of references going off of this. But let's pretend that you did. Let's pretend that the references that you have today is just enough. So if somebody had a Napoleon Mastiff, and this was either from a working line or a show line, it doesn't matter. If they had that dog and you only heard about the daddy, and you maybe have seen the great grandparents to the mama, maybe have seen a picture of it, but from what they've been saying and doing, everything has been trickling down as to where I would like one of these type of dogs. If you read the pedigree by itself, would you, and the pedigree has the name of the daddy in that dog, would you be comfortable enough to go out and get that puppy based off of the daddy or the mama, and it's just a pedigree? If let's say you were working kennel and your Napoleon Masters, they are made for, yours is for herding and for livestock guarding. Livestock guarding. This is what you want yours for, and this is what you utilize them with. Just on the pedigree alone, you didn't see what the daddy can do. You didn't see what the mama can do. You just know that they're coming from working stock. If you took your puppy and you brought it home, would you be confident in what your abilities are to bring out the best in that particular puppy? Or do you need to have the reassurance of, I need to see the mama and the daddy, and I got to see them working, and I got to see their temperament when they eating, and I got to see, you pretty much treating this animal as though it is a brand new car that you got to test drive. Nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you're dealing with it in that scenario, would you have confidence later on with your program by buying sight unseen? And the reason I get to that is because dealing with the pit bulls, when I was coming through, now I know this some old head shit, but when I was dabbling with them at that particular time when I was coming up, I knew that in order to get the puppy that I wanted, I had to get it from sight unseen. This was in the 90s and even in the early 2000s. Like, we didn't have a whole lot of, what you call it? We didn't have the internet was a baby at the time when we was coming up. The internet was a baby, so we wasn't relying upon internet, social media accolades or whatever for us to be able to see what we was getting. We had to rely on a pedigree alone, and then the reputation of that dog and that dog breeder to decide, do we want to get an animal bred like this here? It doesn't have to be from that exact same breeder. It just has to be a dog bred the way the pedigree says it's supposed to be bred. I don't know what the colors are supposed to be off top. I know what I'm expecting, but I don't know the height and weight off top. I know what I'm expecting. and I don't know, I don't know the location of the dog until I talk to the person. Coming up at that time, I'm seeing a lot of individuals know now they're getting upset on social media because they're getting quote unquote screwed or fucked because somebody is saying they got a dog bred a certain type of way and they send them the money like how they used to be, and then you wait for your animal, and people ain't getting their animals. That's real fucked up. But from the time frame from when I was dabbling in them at that particular scenario, I remember having to just go to a magazine. Hold on, I got a magazine somewhere. I had to look into a magazine. What this here? This here? Yeah. I had to look into a magazine to go find my dog. In order to find the dog I wanted, I had to look into a magazine. And the magazine literally only had just, I mean, it had pictures in it. It got pictures and shit in it. It do. But it was predominantly based off of a picture, maybe a black and white picture, and specific pedigrees of multiple types of lines of animals. That's all pit bulls. That's all we had to go off of was just that. Just one picture, black and white, maybe color if you're lucky, if the people who had enough money to advertise in color, but just one picture, one picture of a black and white dog, maybe a colored dog, and then maybe a 4-generation pedigree. Now, specifically in that book I just put you together, you knew that dealing in that type of magazine that the pedigree was going to be authentic. You don't know if it was legit because it was paper hanging, but you do know that if in that magazine it was authentic, that the dog is supposed to be like this. So you didn't worry about somebody initially doing the bait and switch on you. You didn't worry about that initially. Matter of fact, let me go to the board. I'm gonna show you what I'm talking about as to what we had to dabble with back in the gap. And I will pull up this right here. Let me see here. Here, watch. Matter of fact, hold on. Look here, Instagram. If you see me on Instagram, come on YouTube because I'm on here chopping up with everybody right fast. Let me see something. Let me bring it out here to the. Let me bring it out to the board. So let me see. Let me let y'all see what we had to work with at that time. No, times have changed and it's for the better, hopefully. But at that time, this is all we had to work with. Here, let me put you over here. Here we go. This right here. This specifically right here is what we had to work with in order to buy a puppy. If we wanted to get a dog, we would literally had to go and open that magazine I just said and showed you and look through the pictures. And the way I was purchasing dogs at that time, it was basically all only just this. Here, man, let me make it more bigger. It was just this here. So in order to get what I wanted or what I thought I wanted, I had to understand what pedigrees were. I had to understand what the pedigree was and what I was looking at. So that means I had to do my studies, not my Googles. I had to do my studies in certain last names of humans and certain first names of the dogs. I had to figure this out. That was the real interesting telling part as to where we didn't have what y'all have now. Was Pez Online back in the from I want to say '02? No, yeah, I want to say '02 or '03. I forgot when that site came out, maybe '03. But we didn't have Peds Online to understand, what the back ends of the pedigrees was. We had just these magazines, and within these magazines, how me and my people did it. We learned certain dogs was always getting bred all the time, and we learned what was behind those dogs all the time. Like this particular dog, Boudreaux's Maverick. See, y'all not used to seeing dogs that don't. What's up, Shepherd Herders? See, y'all not used to seeing dogs that don't have lights in their pedigrees. Y'all have been deluded with no colorful pedigrees. I'm used to seeing just a black and white pedigree and understanding what that pedigree actually is and what it's meant for. All I know is black and white. Color is brand new. So if I'm looking at a pedigree, I'm looking at just a black and white pedigree, and I'm going off of the accolades of what the breeder has done and also what that dog has put forth to on there as well. So if you're looking on as to what I'm giving you, like on this right here, this here is a pedigree for puppies that was for sale back in '02, and this is off a dog named Rattler's Lefty. He's a stud dog. He's a stud dog. Now, if you knew anything about dogs from back in the gap, from back in '04 and above, you understood what these dogs were. You knew what a lefty dog was. You knew that was a Bucky's dog. You knew that was a buck red boy dog, pretty much. And then when you put together the the McGee's Panthers with the Chinaman stuff, you knew what a Panther dog was. A Panther dog was kind of a Zebo dog, but it wasn't. It was mostly Lonzo through his brother Mike. Like, you had to understand what you was looking at in the pedigree in order to understand what you're supposed to get. Because we all know what Chinaman was, an Eli Carver dog, and then they put the bitch to Bat Lady. We understand. I'm sorry, I understood what a pedigree was based off of just looking at the black and white. I didn't need to go into Peds Online and tap into the colors. The colors didn't mean nothing to me back then because they weren't never there. And if you come down, look at this here, what he put together on Caroline and Kitten, she offered TVK's Wicked. We understood who Wicked was. It was a little skinny, little funny looking dog. And if you knew the backstory of him, you understood why they had him. His daddy was Maverick. You understood what Maverick was at that time because in the late '90s, he was a big deal. Maverick was able to travel everywhere, and then Frisco pretty much in the late '90s, early 2000s, he ran the shit, and Frisco was off of Chinaman to some Bolio shit. So like, you had to understand what those were when you was dealing with it, because you come into Buzzsaw Stomper right here. I can't click back. I can't click back into here like how y'all can in Peds Online. I gotta know what this is. Stomper, this was a snooty dog. This is a snooty Pedro dog. We understood what this here was off of Garnet Amos. Like, I knew what these were because I was studying pedigrees, not from on the computer, but from in books and magazines. Like how y'all can go click, 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 click. No, you can click this dog, this dog, this dog, and it keep taking you back. I had to sit there and look through magazines and find out where these dogs were. I had to do certain type of research that y'all that wasn't available to me back then that y'all have access to now, but it made me more aware of what I was having. Cause y'all only, if you see Finley's Bow right now, a lot of people, a lot of y'all don't even know that this dog made more puppies than just G. The majority of y'all coming in have no idea. If you seen Finley's Bow on top of any other dog, you wouldn't know what the hell this here is. Y'all probably don't know nothing about Magnum, and he come off a Bow. All y'all know is G, and that particular breeding he made with that bitch Honey Bunch. That's pretty much what y'all know specifically. There's nothing wrong with that. But having an understanding of what a pedigree is will let me know what I'm supposed to, what I feel I should be bringing to the table when I get this here. So if I got this here dog, if I got lefty bred to Carolina Kitten, and pretty much this is a buck red boy, I'm not gonna say Zebo, but that's what you know. But it's not Zebo. It's mostly through Lonzo's mic. But it's pretty much a buck red boy dog. All this here is mostly red boy type blood. Not a lot of Jocko behind this here. This is mostly red boy. But this here is buck red boy. Let's just say Lonzo. Let's say Lonzo, and it's not through Zebo over some Chinaman shit. That's what this here dog here is, and made a very good dog at that particular time. And they bred him over the Maverick Frisco shit, which is pretty much heavy Eli over the Eli Carver Bolio breeding right here. And they put that to Finley's Bow over the Lapase. And this here, basically, you wouldn't know what that is because y'all don't pay that much attention. I do. This is pretty much back in the gap. This was the old Kobe blood. And Kobe had a bunch of different strains of his name that all did and worked how they did. And they worked damn good, too. And they put this over some old Boudreaux shit, which is predominantly not Eli. This here, Boudreaux Bow, this is some of the stuff before Eli that he had with this right here. And then Lapase shotgun. If you recognize the last name of a dog, if you recognize the last name of a dog's first name, you know what this should be. Because back then, people kind of stayed together in they shit. Lapase was mostly with the Eli breeding dog. Like, when I was lucky enough to be able to see certain lines of dogs, and people at that particular time their last name stayed with like one line of dogs. Like, this some old people shit, but like how Jordan and Isaiah and Glenn, is it Glenn Rice? I don't know, but I do know give me another person. Kobe. Like how all of them people they stayed with one team. So when you hear that last name or that first name, you think of just one. You hear Kobe Bryant, you only finna think of Lakers. You hear Michael Jordan, you only finna think of Chicago Bulls. So that this is kind of the same thing. When you see Lapase, when you see Garner, when you see Boudreaux, they stuck with just one specific line of dogs. They didn't have multiples. They didn't have more. When you didn't have you wasn't finna come see Boudreaux name under Boudreaux's Red Boys Jocko dog. That wasn't happening back then. It still don't happen now, but it wasn't happening back then. When you see a Lapase dog, you knew that this was coming through just some more Eli type of stuff. So the last name helped you understand what you were supposed to be getting during those time frames. That's what was able to be seen, be heard, and be understood. But let me give you another one. I give you boys another. Hold on, let me see if I let me give you boys another one. Let me see here. Cause the pedigrees, these boy, they was very much something. Like look into this here. We're gonna look into this, and this is what I should be having here. This is what I should be having. When I look into this here, let me make it the big screen. What's up with your CCS? When I look into this here, this particular dog, like I said, we didn't have lights to go off of back then. All we had was black and white, so I had to understand what I was supposed to be getting. So I need to know what the pedigrees were at that particular time. So this right here is off of Dead Series Red Man to Wild Size Satin Lady. Now, when I said and explained a while ago how the last names helped me understand the first names. Now, Dead Series, that was a particular kennel that housed a lot of breedings of dogs, but you kind of understood what it was if you followed them good enough. So we're going to go past Dead Series, but we just going to focus in on him, Banjo. We're going to focus in on this dog named Banjo right here. Now, his last name on his pedigree, which is the official stuff, is Coy's champion Banjo. We're not worried about the title, just the dog Banjo. Initially, it was McCool's. And y'all done heard my stories about that. I'm not a fan of that man. If I ever seen him in real life, I stomp his hat down because he fucked me twice. And both of them was my fault. But still, this particular dog Banjo, when you look all up and down his pedigree, this here is Thibodeau Chain, Puppy Honey, Double Trouble, Miss Kim, Spoke Honey, Jim Bob, Jumper. Like, these dogs right here, without knowing this here, you would think this is a decent type of dog. You think this is pretty decent. I like this here. But if you look into this dog pedigree past these dogs here, you'll see this particular dog here come up multiple times. You will also know that this dog here was a heavy inbred dog. And I mean heavy inbred dog. This dog here. He was so damn heavy inbred, you would be surprised he was able to function the way he was. It's no surprise he was able to produce how he was, but you will be surprised that him and his sister was able to function the way they were when you look back into these pedigrees. You see this dog over and over. You see all these dogs over and over again. Like, God damn. But that's the beauty of understanding pedigrees, and that's the beauty of understanding what you're getting when you're looking to buy it. Because this here is a McCool bred dog. We're just gonna call it McCool bred dog. Over some more Carver stuff. This right here, Peachy Jim Bob. This right here, Peachy Jim Bob to Jumper. If you look up here again, Jim Bob to Jumper. Miss Kim to Double Trouble made Hoskins Betty Joe. Jim Bob to Jumper, Miss Kim the Little Man made Dead Series Tina. If you just this dog himself is heavy inbred. If you ever looked at the pedigree, this dog is heavy inbred itself. They decided to do what? Put this exact same bitch, Miss Kim, right back in here, under here, to this here other type of what? Carver blood. Cause why? I just gave you Jim Bob and Jumper that made Miss Kim. If you look at this shit right here, Jim Bob and Black Gal made this motherfucker. This particular dog, Jim Bob, is showing up multiple times, and you're not even knowing what's back here. But when you understand pedigrees, you know that this is a very inbred dog. The dog should be retarded, but he was not. Neither was this one. I think this one here went on the best Cottenham dog. I think he bested one of them Cottenham dogs. But when you understand pedigrees, you know damn well this here is pure heavy inbreeding, pure heavy inbreeding, thorough. And then they put that to this here. They made a complete outcross. Well, outside Lucifer. If you know anything about when I said and told you the last name in front of the first name on the dog helped you understand what you're supposed to be getting. Well, outside was a breeder who had multiple lines of dogs, but he was known for this particular dog right here and others. But this one here, for the Niggerino. He had some little alligator blood too, but he was known for this type particular shit right here. So if you got you have a heavy ass Carver bred dog. If you got a heavy Carver bred dog. Your best breeding to do this here, to do with him, to make anything you want no worthwhile for your program, you need an out. This Carver bred dog went to a Niggerino bred dog. This here is a heavy Eli dog in the back, but Niggerino made his own damn name, so you solidify him as himself. You don't put him with the other Eli dogs. He's separate, like Maverick is separate. He's separate like Bullison. He's a separate animal just off of understanding. But they bred that heavy ass Carver shit to this here to a daughter of Lucifer, which here is heavy Niggerino, which is mostly Eli dog, over Jeep dog. Over a Jeep dog. Now this right here would be Carver, Eli, Jeep, in my opinion. That's what this would be. So if I'm looking to purchase a puppy, matter of fact, hold on. Let me put you together, yeah. So if I'm looking to purchase a puppy, and I'm looking at this pedigree, I don't know what the dogs look like. I don't know their colors. I don't know their heights outside of what the mom and daddy is supposed to be from the black and white pictures I was able to see, and I don't know their weights. But I have a references based off of the information I done seen and read about all these dogs. I know that this dog here should be every bit of the mid 40s, 45, 46 chain weight. And if I wanted to work him and get him in the condition weight, this would be, if 45, I can get him every bit down to 39 pounds, and he'll be a lean, mean, sexy looking machine. That and just making him look his best exercise ideal weight. That's what it would be with him. And this is just off of only having a pedigree to go off of, not no pictures. Not no videos. I'm not finna go. I wasn't able to get on YouTube. What's up with you, baby? Lewis, what's good with you, baby? I wasn't able to get on YouTube and go look at the mama and the daddy, and they walk the dog out and show me everything, and they make them turn, or what them bully people be saying that shit's called, where they stand the dog in front of stacking. They call that stacking, which is pretty much just showing the dog. I wasn't able to see nothing like that with the animals that I have today. What I have today, I had to go and look at the pedigree in the magazine, black and white magazine. What's up with you, baby? A black and white magazine. Look at the pedigree. Decide, do I want that particular dog? Man, I give you even a better one. Hold on, let me see. What's up with your people on Instagram? If y'all see my Instagram, man, come on over to YouTube, man. The link is up in the is in my bio. Come over to YouTube and you'll see the pictures I'm able to put forth. Cause I'm showing folks some shit, and I know y'all want to see what I'm showing. So let me see here. This is another one. This right here is another one. Here we go. This right here is another one, to where if you're able to see it, here we go. Let me put this in here for you. This right here is what we all had to go off of. This particular stuff, when I told y'all earlier, it was just a black and white picture with pedigrees. It was nothing in here, just a black and white picture with pedigrees. I had no lights. At all, so I had to work with what I had, or what I had to deal with. And I had to understand how to read a pedigree. So this right here, Tance AAA, Tance Yellow, Kirby's Yellow John, all this right here, I had to understand what the last name of the dog was, or the first name. So whenever I seen the name Tant in front of any dog, it was safe to say that this is supposed to be a red boy Jocko breeding the dog. Supposed to be a red boy Jocko dog, because his claim to fame, from everybody knew, is yellow. And a lot of new people, all y'all only know is Mayday. Y'all don't pay attention to yellow. That's his damn daddy. But regardless, he made his own name. We ain't talking about that. But from what I'm looking at right here, what I'm able to show y'all, this is all I had to go off of. I had to understand how to read the pedigree of a dog to know what I was going to bring back to my yard, and also know how I was going to make it work for my yard. So if I wanted to come to this man here, and let's say I wanted to get something off of Killer B, is that him? No, that's 640. This dog here. Let's say if I wanted to get something off of Killer B, I had to understand what the last name was in front of that first name. What the last name was in front of the first name. The last name in front of the first name. I had to understand what this was. So I knew off top, the daddy of this dog here was a buck, it was a bucket dog, which is buck to the red boy blood over Stony, which is some more tombstone blood. I had to understand what that was because you had to know pedigrees. Now, I know what this is, but pretend you don't. St. Benedict Tiverton, say, I know what this is, but let's say you don't know what St. Benedict is. That man had a plethora of other dogs. What's good with you, everybody? If you see me I'm over here on YouTube. Just hit the link in my bio. It'll be able to take you to it. You'll be able to see the pictures I'm putting together. But like I'm saying, this right here, little man's buck, Anderson Legend, Vice Grips, Poncho Steels, Diamond Girl. Like, I had to understand what those dogs were, and I also had to understand what they came back to without being able to see this here. Certain dogs at this particular time had certain names. So when I seen the last name of Vice Grip and the first name of Poncho, I knew what this here dog was because certain dogs already had a certain mystique about them or rumor about them. So I was able to always understand, okay, that's what this is. This is what I should be getting. This here will be considered a battle cross dog. Hold on. Pairs matter when you first inquire about the pup, and then after the dogs prove to be bred worthy in between, all the pairs don't matter. Yeah, kind of, sort of. Okay. Let me repeat that because some of y'all who wasn't able to register this, I'm going through back and forth on certain deals on Instagram and YouTube. So I'll repeat this here. An individual said, pairs don't matter when you first inquire about the pup, and then after the dogs prove to be breed worthy in between, all of that, pairs don't matter. I understand what this man here is saying, but what I'm getting to is that not that the pairs don't matter, because the only time the pairs don't matter, that's for experienced people. That's for you. You're someone who's probably most likely experienced in the dogs. So I'm only speaking to the newer individuals who are coming into the dogs. A lot of the older folks will sit and tell you pedigrees don't matter, which is true for them, not for you. Not for you. Pedigrees matter for you because you don't know nothing. You're new, you're coming into it. And if you're coming into it, you need to understand what a pedigree is. If you're getting it from a trusted source, a trusted person, you need to know what that is. So what I just gave off, it matters to you. It doesn't matter to somebody like myself or somebody else who's established. That matters a whole lot. Hold on. They need to know what the kennel names get changed up to when dogs are sold, especially in the bulldogs. That's true. I'm going to address that one again. But the reason why I'm telling you that the pedigrees, they matter is because they help you understand what you're supposed to be getting when you're starting your line of dogs. When you're starting your line of dogs, if you understand the nuances of the dogs, you understand what they come from and how they were, then you will know what you're supposed to be getting the day they show up in your yard. So if somebody was to give me, let me show, hold on, this right here. If I was to be getting this dog right here, somebody gave me Cruz 640, which is off of Cruz Yellow Jr. to Cruz Yellow Baby. Cruz, you may not know what that last name is, but if we go to Tance AAA and we go to Tance Champion Yellow, then you know what that is. You should. If you're dabbling with these dogs back then, you know that Tance last name, this is a red boy man or red boy Jocko man specifically. So I know for a fact if I'm getting this dog Cruz 640 right here and he's at my yard, I'm supposed to have a red boy dog. And if any of y'all was around when I was doing one of my lives before, I let it be known these type of dogs here was supposed to be, they were supposed to be unintellectually how can I put this correctly? What's up, Blueprint? They were supposed to be unintellectual but still be functionable all the way to their expiration. Get it? That's what they was made for. The people who were making these type of animals, they were supposed to be unintellectual enough to where they still would function even towards and through their expiration date. That's what they were supposed to be made for. Let me see something. You don't understand how to read the page, you're going to, yeah. But if you don't know nothing about dogs that feel the peds, it don't really help too much. That's correct. You're right about that for forever. If you don't know nothing about the dogs, then you really don't know. Then you really gonna have a hard time dealing with the pedigrees you got. What's up, Big Loke? What's up with you, baby? I see y'all in the chat, man. I appreciate y'all chopping it up with me, man. What's up, baby? I see y'all in the chat, man. I'm not good. I'm not savvy, working everything like this. I'm used to just talking. I ain't used to sitting here, chopping up with everybody. But if you register how the pedigrees work, then I know that I can just buy the dog by myself. I don't need to know nothing about the pedigree at all. All I need to know is, I don't need to know about the mom and daddy pictures wise or video wise. I just need to know about the dog's pedigree and does it match up? Because if the dog pedigrees match up, I can make everything else work. I can make all everything else work because what I'm wanting in my program is something specific that this particular dog most likely can do, and I'm gonna need this dog to be able to do it for me, which comes to my standards. So what I'm posing to certain folks, because I speak with people who dabble in other lines of dogs, and I always ask them, would you buy a dog from a breeder that you trust just off the pedigree? And a lot of them always say no. And it let me know that a lot of people don't register how to read the pedigree at all. They don't know how to read it whatsoever. And they kind of don't trust it, even though they know it's authentic. They don't trust it. And I'm not saying that they don't trust it because they think they're somebody lying to them. I'm saying they don't trust it because they don't know what dogs made what names in there. And as I stated earlier, these dogs have been known to have what's this here? Yeah, these dogs have been known to be documented more than any other breed of dogs. The Pitbull has been documented more than any other breed of dogs, period, out there. And I'm noticing that a lot of the newer dogs out here, no matter what you got, with Malinois, you get your Rottweiler, you get your Child, none of them has been documented as much as the Pitbull has. So the people who hop into those programs and they're wanting those particular dogs of, you want a damn a giant schnauzer or whatever. When you get the pedigree, a lot of people see the pedigrees and they're looking at the pedigree as though it's a blueprint, and they don't know how to build a building. But as to where, if you're sitting here dabbling with the bulldogs and you know how to read pedigrees, and somebody gives you a pedigree, that's a whole different blueprint that you know how to read. Matter of fact, let me see. Let me put it together right here. Like particularly, let's say this one right here. Let me put this back on here. Here we go. Let's say this one right here. This dog right here, Vasilius Jack. A lot of people don't understand what these dogs here are, but I damn sure do. Hold on. I don't think I'd ever buy a pup solely on pedigree, no matter who bred it, even myself. Okay, see, I wish I was able to see some of this, but look here, if you don't, keep doing what you're doing, baby. As this man here said, he's the one I'm speaking about. Not him specifically, but this is the type of individuals I'm speaking to. A lot of people will only purchase a dog based off of the parents. They need to see the mom and daddy and what the mom and daddy do. Then they'll feel confident in getting it. This is where I said a lot of people don't have any background information about their animals because their dogs aren't documented as much as pit bulls are. Pit bulls are documented heavily to where everyone knows who's dabbling with these dogs, because this is such a small niche community of people. Everybody knows what these dogs are supposed to be doing and what they're supposed to bring to the table, because they've been known to do X, Y, and Z. But when you're dabbling with, let's say, Cane Corsos, or let's say Napoleon Masters or giant schnauzers, they're not as documented as much as pit bulls are. So you're having to go off of the breeder and hope that the breeder is established enough to where you can trust what they saying when they give you a puppy. As to where, if you look at this dog right here, if you look at this dog, let me see here. If you look at this particular dog right here, this breeding of an animal, this here is Vasilius Jack. Remember I told you boys, man, we didn't get no lights. So all we had was black and white pedigree. So we had to know what these dogs here were. Vasilius Jack was off of Rodriguez's Gator to Al's Iron Lady. And this here, if you didn't know what these was, you had to keep going in the background. This is 1, 2, 3. This is the 4th-generation pedigree that they let us see. Now, with this 4th-generation pedigree, I had to know what these dogs' names were and what they brought to the table. So when they bred Jeep to Tabby Girl, they made a dog named Tab. Everybody know how I feel about Tab dogs or any Jeep Red Boy dog. It's just a starter kit. Anybody can get one of them dogs. They can make themselves look like they're professional. But them dogs work very well under any circumstances for anybody. But when this particular dog right here, little big ugly motherfucker, they bred Gator to Iron Lady that made Jack. This dog right here, his big ass is a Jeep Red Boy dog through and through. Because you got Tab right here, which is off of Jeep Tabby Girl. Then they bred Jeep to Bridget, Irene. This is a half brother sister breeding right here. Then they got Tab, which is him again, to Sybil, which is Tab again. This is a double bred. This is double bred. Iron Lady is double bred Tab, which is Jeep Red Boy dog. Jeep Red Boy over this shit right here to Jeep Sugar. This is a heavy, an extremely heavy Jeep Red Boy dog. Specifically Jeep dog with Red Boy as the kicker. When you know how to read the pedigree, you know what you're supposed to get from this dog. Size, I wasn't expecting for this dog to be this fucking big. But the Red Boy dogs were big. You can throw back and get a big one. Kind of consistently, matter of fact, because hell, a lot of them was big. But I wasn't expecting to see his big ass. But still, this dog right here is a heavy bred Tab dog. In 4 generations, you see Tab 1, 2, 3 in 4 generations. Now, within 4 generations, you see Tab Daddy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is a heavy bred Jeep dog. This is a heavy bred Jeep dog coming by way of Tab. This is a heavy red Jeep dog coming by way of Tab. And in the process of this here, you had to understand what these dogs was bringing to the table. Now, me personally, I would say that this dog here was meant to be an all-around animal. And him being big as he was, he should have been an all-around animal. And he as time progressed, history let it be known that he was an all-around animal. But when you're looking at these here, Vasilius Maximum, 87-pound dog. Boss, 81-pound dog. Max, 107-pound dog. I don't know what the hell this dude was breeding into these dogs to make them that damn big. Most likely, this was the beginning stages of that bully shit. But let's get up out of this one. We're not gonna speak too ill of that one. But I'll give y'all another one. Let me see here. I'll give you boys another one. Hold on. Let's put up another one. So I got a few of them. Let me see if I can find. Here we go. Type bred vintage Zebo dogs right here. Joe Black is the grandson of Zebo, and his pedigree is 7 times Zebo and 3 times Vindicator. Now, don't worry about none of that shit. We ain't speaking about this. We speaking about exactly what I'm telling you about. Understanding pedigrees. Let's go to it. When you come into some shit like this here, I'm looking for the pedigrees. I'm looking for what the last name is and the first name of that dog. Now, this particular dog right here, St. Benedict Bailey. He made Tab. Tab made him. And if y'all remember, I just showed y'all what Tab was. It's a Jeep, heavy-ass Red Boy dog. And this here is 1, 2. This is a 4-generation pedigree. This is a 4-generation pedigree of what this here is. This is a Tab dog over some more Jeep shit to some more Eli stuff. Hargrove's Rufus was an Eli dog. Bullison dog, I think. Midnight Cowboy, I think. I got to go back and look. It's been a while. I don't fuck with these lines of dog, personally. But they bred Tab, was a Jeep Red Boy dog, to Weirdo, which is a double bred Jeep dog. This is one of the best producing dogs, a Jeep I ever thought of, me personally. They ugly. He was an ugly little dog, but he made Mason Smiley, and Smiley made a lot of Panthro. He made a good dog. He made a lot of good shit. But I like this here line of dog. I just don't have it. But you got to understand what this her pedigree was and what they mean. Damn, look at the pedigree. I'm speaking directly to y'all now. How long I been on here? About 30 minutes, a little over. Okay, look here. We gonna put this together this way here. Okay, this is what I'm telling y'all, man. In order to have an understanding of the program that you're finna produce down the road with with your dogs, you should understand what the animals you have today, where they come from, and how they put things together. You should have an understanding of what that is, because if you're relying solely on just the mother and the father, and you don't have access to the grandfather, grandmother, or past that, or no information, and you're just relying on what you've seen, you're hindering yourself as to the best that you can be with these dogs, because you need to know what the pedigrees is consistent of. Because even though the mother and the father of that puppy that you're getting, they may have been the exceptional dog. They may have been the best dogs of them types of breedings ever. That might have been the best Napoleon Mastiff. That might have been the best damn Greyhound. It might have been the best whatever. If you don't have access to what's past them, you have no idea if them two dogs are the anomalies of their breeding program. Which means the rest, they little mate, fuck they little mates. They mom and daddy come from a whole batch of bullshit. They mom and daddy somebody could have been breeding a bunch of bull to bull to bull all the time because they wanted that one specific thing that kept coming out, which is some pretty color eyes or some small feet, whatever it was. You have no idea what it came from, even though the pedigree is saying families Canon 1 and EOS is 3.5 or whatever it is. Even though it's giving you all of that, you have no idea of what it's derived from to where it's supposed to kind of always be, because you just going off the mom and daddy. Me personally, if you want to be better at what you're doing, you should learn how to read a pedigree. You should understand what a pedigree is made for, and you should understand how to improve upon that pedigree. Have your own standards, but also utilize the pedigrees as a stepping stone as to where you're trying to go to. Because the pedigrees I just said and gave you of all these dogs, the bulldog community understood where to go to with these animals. They didn't get this dog today and then just start and try to figure something out. People who understood pedigrees and understood lineages, they knew where they were supposed to go to. They knew how to work their dog. They knew how to exercise their dog. They knew what type of feed not really feed, but they knew what they should be doing in order to keep the dog on the path that it come from, so that they wouldn't throw nothing off and put themselves back 7-8 years. I see other individuals who get dogs from other breeds of animals. I don't think y'all are noticing that you need to have an understanding of what that pedigree actually entails. That pedigree is very important. It is extremely important to me, at least, because if I don't know nothing, I need to be able to see this here, and I need to be able to study this here so that I can see and know what I'm looking at and what I'm supposed to have later on down the road, so I won't be surprised later on down the road if I got two cane corsos and I saw the mom and dad and they was working real good, or they was showing real good, and they was the best that they was supposed to be, and I liked them, and I get my cane corso from this person here, and then I go to another person, they show me their cane corso and it's the exact same thing, and I'm loving both of them. So I make my puppies, I raise them up, I wait till about 2.5 years, and my puppies is doing damn good and every damn thing. And then once I get them back to the house and I breed my little 2.5-year, 3-year-old dog, I breed my puppies together, I gotta wait another 2 years for for them puppies to be worth something. But when they come up, they all bullshit. They don't imitate the mama or the daddy at all. But if I'd have had enough information and understanding of a pedigree, I'd have known that my first initial puppies that I bred, when they got grown, if I'd have looked behind their pedigrees and if I'd have noticed their pedigrees, I'd have known that they come from a line of bullshit, that I would have to be starting to make this dog into something, because what I'm bringing to the house is nothing but garbage, far as my standard wise. And that's because I never knew what I was reading in the pedigree. And I'm saying that to anybody who dabbles in any type of animals. Understand the pedigrees all the way to the back. No 8, 16, whatever, really just the eight. Understand the eighth generation. Understand just the eighth generation. Past that is cool too, but just past eight is so that you can just have a knowing of what the fuck you doing. But understanding the eighth generation pedigree, it would determine it would narrow down to you the average of what you should be getting. Should you get dogs with big heads, with big ears, little bitty teeth, bad hips? You would have an understanding of what you're dabbling with if you know what a pedigree is and how to utilize it to your benefit. Because just having the actual animal in your hands and having the pedigree that you don't know nothing about, dude, you do just as good as getting a dog from the shelter. That's a purebred dog. If you don't know how to utilize the pedigree, you might as well just get a dog from off the street or in the shelter or something, because you ain't really finna get nowhere with it. In my opinion. But I could be wrong. You know, a lot of people have heard y'all make y'all ways and do it how y'all do. I'm not knocking you or not. I'm just informing you that the benefits of understanding how to read a pedigree will be a lot more enlightening for you if you registered how to utilize it for yourself. So as I stated before, this is just your boy Nick Love and the K9 ProSeeds, man. I just wanted to chop it up with y'all for a little bit about this, because I was able to talk to a couple of cats and they was able to tell me certain things, and I just registered that, hey man, you would be a lot more better off if you understood the pedigrees of the animals that you're purchasing. You do or you don't, man. It's up to y'all. But this your boy Nick Love and the K9 ProSeeds, man. I'm gonna holler at you boys later, man. Peace out. Let me go ahead and cut this short.